your machine locks through the clamp, stops it picking up. Going down again now. That was just really in the pipe, wasn't it?
I think it was, wasn't it? It's gone clear now.
Gone clear, stopped. So I've been called to this job. They've had a leak on the heating system, it's been drained down. I have worked on this before. It's an old one pipe system. There's bits of inch and a half. I've got a couple of these to do today, or me and Pat have. As I say, this was wetting all the floor, so what I'm going to do is just cut this out here. It's had a new radiator on it at some point. But yeah, it's just, the fitting's just dropping to pieces. There's nothing left of the steel, so yeah, we'll get this one sorted. I have worked here before a long while ago when it was for another company who were in the building, and they had a leak downstairs. I cut a section out, and refilling it was an absolute nightmare because the cold feeds were blocked. And they're right on the top floor. I think there's about 80 radiators in this building, so I had to backfill it. I had to run a hose all the way around. It was a nightmare. It looks like somebody's put a copper, replaced the vent and the cold feed. I'm sure it was iron last time, but we'll soon find out if it fills back up. So yeah, we'll get the leaks done for a start. It looks like somebody's been around and put some AAVs on here, so whether it's because the system's been leaking and drawing a little bit of air in, I'm not sure. That's got that pipe cut. You're always going to get a little bit of water there because it is a little bit of a low point, but I think we wet about 99% of it up. So we're going to we might have to cut it again yet to get that section wound out, thread a union on there, and then wind that T. Yeah, it's like putty in it they've used on it to try and stop it leaking. Like I say, they've pushed that from 3/4 to half.
Yeah. But to be fair, they've had some T's in, haven't they?
Yeah, they put swept T's in. I mean, when they put this system in, well, mind you, yeah, that's right, he's right. It was probably put in properly. I mean, that's not a one pipe valve they've used. So this bit's been messed about with, hasn't it? See how thick wall that steel is. I mean, it would never rot through. It's only been leaking on the fitting. Probably where somebody's put that bush in. It's probably been leaking on the bush, would you say, Pat, and just been rotting the pipe out?
Yes.
But it's knackered now. I mean, steel was built to last donkey's years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Proper. How it used to be.
You have a go?
Yeah, I think we've got it correct, haven't we? I'll get those top loading stations on, it might be a bit easy to get in. The jaws are a bit more away from the fitting, aren't they?
Yeah.
I do like these ones. I ain't got any 36s in these now. Job's a green pack.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. So these threads will be fine to clean back up, and we can put our new T back on there. We will be putting this back up in copper how it was, I think. It's just, yeah, I think That's how I'm going to do it.
I've got a good bit, as close as you can to there, honestly, it works better. That's it, so a bit of good grip on there, boy. Right near that fitting. You can go better there. Right, 3, 2,
Here we go.
come on.
Come on.
She's going.
She's gone. I know, it's cushion the pipe a bit. That's what happens.
Is it cushion?
Yeah, it's alright, it's got. Let me get my top loading ones on. God, I think sometimes
It's going, isn't it? It's cushion.
yeah, it's cushion the pipe.
It looks like that band.
Yeah. All good, Pat.
So,
It might have just turned it on that fitting around there, but we'll have to have a look. Oops, sorry. Yeah. It looks quite a thick wall.
looks thicker, don't it?
Yeah.
It's spoiled across right round.
Yeah, I love the smell of it, though, do you?
Yeah.
Because you need a licence to import hemp, don't you? Because it's the raw material for making drugs, isn't it? One of them.
But hemp.
Yeah. So this is my pipe threader, and I've got my rigid bench set up there as well. This is fantastic for little jobs because it's got, this one does up to 2 inch, this REMS one. So all you do is select which one we're on. We're on 1.5 inch. Clip on here, which you unclip, and your dies just press out. And then the 1.5 inch one just drops in. Simple as that. We've got some soluble cutting oil, so when we're threading you need to keep the threads well lubricated, otherwise it will strip them. And we've just got some red oxide as well, just to paint the fitting, stop them going rusty. This is the plant room on this job. We've got 2 Ideal Concord CXs. I'm sure when I was here, the cold feeds, it's these 2. This has been replaced. That'll be the cold feed, that 28, and that one above, that 35 is the vent. I'm sure they were steel. But we'll soon find out when we fill back up. I think Pat's isolated it there, took the lever off and isolated the power and everything to the boilers. So yeah, we'll find out. Put a bit of JetBlue on top of my Loctite. You don't have to, but I always do. What we'll do is we'll thread that union, or tighten that union on there. And then we'll cut the section pipe to the right length. It'll be over here somewhere. Try and rotate it around so I don't scratch the fitting up as much. It just looks a bit better. See, that's nearly gone all the way. It's fairly tight. I'll give it a little bit more. It's a little bit warm. Your machine locks through the clamp. Stops it picking up. And then you can just press the trigger. So once we just pass the die, and then click it on with a machine off. You can see that thread's perfect. It's not stripped or any imperfections in it. And all we do with the Loctite is we crisscross it into the threads a little bit. I always put a little bit too much on, but we clean the excess off after. So you're wrapping it into the threads, a little bit of that, and that will never leak. Then when we get this wound in and get the T on, we can get a proper measurement for our section in between. Oh, good, Pat.
Make this off.
When when you're winding pipe and stuff in, like Pat said earlier, you want to be as close as you can to the fitting that you're working on. It just makes it a bit easier. Pat's old school, he uses Boss White hemp. First time he's used Loctite. I mean, to be honest with you, all the old guys used to use Boss White and hemp. It's just what it was, wasn't it, Pat?
You wouldn't. It was, yeah. Oh, steam it with graphite paste.
Yeah.
Steam.
I mean, we used to use Boss White and hemp at college because I guess it's a bit cheaper. So at least these older systems, like nobody cut corners with them, did they? They were put in properly, weren't they? Swept tees. Yeah. Where's that carbon?
Bulletproof, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Basically, this system.
Now, still going strong.
This system will be here long after I'm dead.
Yeah.
The only reason that's leaked there is because somebody's done something. They've joined it to copper, haven't they? On there. That is the only reason that's leaked there.
I never thought of that. Yeah.
That is, you know, it's not the original plumber who put that in. It's somebody who's come along and changed that radiator.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, stand on that. Yeah, that's great, Pat. No, you can. I mean, the plumber who put this in, or the plumbers who put this in, they knew what they were doing, didn't they? These systems. And they wouldn't have had an electric threader like we've got, would they? They'd have been hand threaded that. I'd be surprised if it was electric. It'd have been a stock and a die, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They'd have had muscles like Popeye. It's been nearly there, I reckon, Pat.
Yeah, so.
Should we get some gunge on this face here? Paul always used to say never mix unions up. Yeah. So I used to mix them all up in there. Now let that go now, Pat. Hey? I know it will.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
you have to let it go because we've got to let it go in. You got a hammer? You swine.
See if I can fix the pressure off.
Hang on, I might get it from like this. There we go.
Put it on.
Job's a good one, Pat. They are being done.
Screw this back.
Having that little bit of spring on the pipework makes all the difference, doesn't it? This being a one pipe system, we've put a swept tee back. So originally this wouldn't have had any pumps on it, it just worked on gravity. So boiler's down in the basement, sweeps up and the heat would rise through the radiator and yeah, heat it up. Very simple, but they worked. We've got the same issue again on this one. This T's just, what we're going to do is cut it here, split it at that next radiator over there, and then just make it good. That's what they call a long thread on there. That's where the heating goes to the upstairs. This is 1.25 inches on this one, so it's not as bad. So yeah, we'll just get this one cut out as well. So that's got that bit all put back together. Before the tea was over here and it wasn't swept, so we've just used a swept tea in there. I've had to use a barrel off a radiator to go in there because we're tight for space. But Pat's just gone to switch the cold feed back on. I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up in here. These TRVs, we've not been asked to change any TRVs, we've only been asked to replace the rotten pipework. But they're not really the right TRVs. You should have the bigger ball ones. I'll show you which ones they are. I mean, originally this would have been steel, but somebody's changed these. But yeah, hopefully that cold feed's not blocked. It's not turned it back on yet. We should be able to hear it filling because I think the tank's above it. So we ended up changing that whole section of pipework right the way across to that joint there, and then onto the radiator because, well, I'll show you when we've already took it down, but it was rotten all the way across there. It's just crumbling to pieces. But that should be alright. So this is a one pipe valve. That was what that radiator there would have had before somebody converted it to copper. But again, they've not used swept tees there, which is surprising for a one pipe. But yeah, they've got a much bigger bore. Danfoss make these. As I say, they're obviously they're not biodirectional. They're only one way through. But there's a much bigger orifice to let more water through. The modern ones are so tiny inside, but they're much bigger. So yeah, that's what they are. If you ever see the square ones like that, it means they're for a one pipe system. Probably don't use swept tees because they were tight for space, but because the radiators are already hanging above the windows, so I guess that's why they haven't done it. But so it's like that all the way along here, but then when you get in here, they have used swept tees, but then somebody's changed the valve, so it's all a bit of a higgledy-piggledy, and that's the bit we've done. It should be alright. Always makes you wonder when you see stuff like this, you know, what sort of problems we've had with the heating. There's no reason you should have AOVs on there. So this cold feed is completely blocked. We've got it disconnected, or Pat's got it disconnected at the other ends. It was blocked last time I was there like 8 years ago. Enough, well, you get a spit out of it, don't you, Pat? You get a tiny little bit. But somebody's had it apart here. So, I mean, to me that looks new. Well, it's shocking the way it's been done. I think they've had it replaced as well, looking at it, Pat.
This was in here when you backfed it.
No, because as I say, last time I backfed it, but there's no mains water in here either, so I had to get a 50-metre coil speed fit and run it all the way around the building. But we're just checking the basics. Was it blocked there, Pat?
Well, the water's come out.
It's a bit orange, isn't it? That's an old galv tank up in the room. We're getting a bit more than we were there, aren't we?
A bit more of a fruit, aren't you?
Shall I bash this cold feed and see if we get any more out of it? Oh, there you go. You can hear it coming now. Just open it up.
What's it there? Look at the worth takes up a little one.
Nah, just let it run. Come on, put it in that bucket. Give it a bash. Going down again now. That was just what we had the pipe, wasn't it?
I think it was, wasn't it? It's gone clear now.
Gone clear. Stopped. Plumbing out. I had this trouble last time. That's where it connects onto the system, onto the header. But obviously that's straight from the tank and that's open, so. And then it runs right round here. Round here and then it disappears. But it reduced us to 22 mil here, Pat. It's 22 over there.
Is it? Right, so we have to go in the other tank.
Yeah. So why is it reduced to 22? This has definitely been messed about with. It's on a 22 Konex elbow there. Somebody's taped the vent up as well. Who the hell's had tape on the vent? Yeah, it's galv up here, the vent is. There's nothing wrong with the ball valve, Pat. No, the ball valve's fine. The cold feed leaves here in 3/4 steel galv. It's 3/4 galv here. No, this is what I'm saying. It's probably blocked where it changes from galv. It increases to inch over there, so it's 3/4 for the first bit, then it's inch. And the vent's 1.25 inches.
Do I stick my Phillips down the cold feed?
Yeah, you've only got like 6 inches on the first stem though. It's going to be blocked where it transfers from this galv to the copper, I reckon, Pat.
You could be right, it could be anywhere, Tom.
Because it's probably blocked on the main line they've used.
Tom, it could be anywhere.
It is trickling, but I mean this tank's filthy as well. Somebody's taped the vent up, Pat. I don't know what they've done that for. I don't know if it's been pulling air in or whatever.
Do you think someone's tried to backfeed it?
It looks like it to me. They've obviously not wanted it to go over the vent to stop it overflowing. Where is the overflow? The overflow's 1.5 inches though, straight out the wall. So the overflow's up. There's.
Why you tape up the vent otherwise?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the old tank's over there, so I don't know. But this tank's certainly quite old in itself. I don't know why you take the vent up.
Must be aware of it.
They've had all new timbers put up here and all. All new timbers over there.
I'm doing this boxing.
Alright, Pat, I'll come down anyway because there's no I can do up here. That cold feed is not filling up. I've had trouble with that system before, but it used to be owned by a different company. I don't know if I mentioned it in the video earlier, but 7-8 years ago I replaced a section of pipework downstairs and I had a nightmare. There's no mains water in the boiler room, so you have to run a hose. There's a hose that I paced it out again today. I think last time I got a 50 metre cooler speed fit and then some bits I had. But yeah, it's about 60-70 metres away, the outside tap, and I backfilled it last time. But I think what I'm going to do this time, I ain't got enough time today to do it. I think I've seen people use them gallo guns, them CO2 canisters, blast it down the cold feeds. Now whether it'll do any good with that, the problem is, I didn't show it in the video, but that cold feed runs miles and it's all horizontal at high level, so it's probably going to be shot. It joins to copper on the other side of the plant room, so somebody's changed that bit, and then the rest of it's just shot, I think. So I don't know. Pat thinks we might be able to backfill the cold feeds with mains water and it might unblock it, but I'm not. I don't know, basically. It might work, but I think I tried that last time and I don't think it made any difference. It trickles in, but it's just not enough. It will find its own level eventually, but it'll take about 5 days to fill that. There's about 80 radiators on it. So I think I'm going to bring a gallo gun, and if not, we'll just backfeed it. And then we'll just have to price to replace the cold feed. That's all we can do.